Alright, here we go, another update. Basically, we're about the same state. Getting everything pre-assembled, sorted out how we're going to route and run everything. I did a little bit of engine detailing. So we painted it up a little bit. So there's not literally rust on my engine covers and that, so at least it looks a little better. Here's the front. See, the back is still grungy. I don't think I'm going to be able to, I don't know if I'm going to paint the back or not. But I was able to sneak a little bit of detailing on it just so it doesn't look so terrible. Every time I open the hood, it would just be like, ugh, so bad. So terrible. For a project car, you know, because I bought it used and it was driven like a normal car. I still drive it like a normal car in the summer. Doesn't have to go through salt anymore, but has to go through rain, dirt, pretty much everything. Probably adding another car here so we get it out of the rain, but it's a daily driver. That's why I'm going with the Supecharger, because I need something that's reliable and very low maintenance. So I can just drive it, shut it off, park it. Like I don't have to sit there and cool down the turbo and all that. So even though a turbo makes more ultimate power, the Supecharger responds faster and is lower maintenance. And so basically you're increasing the overall torque, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Just it's like bolting in a larger engine. It's like taking this engine and making it a 4 or 5 liter engine just by bolting on a Supecharger, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Just more, the same performance, just more of it. Where the turbo gives you more when it hits, the hit and then the top end power. Obviously you can't beat a turbo for top end power. But for what I'm doing, yeah, Superchargers, it should be perfect. Going for 300, 350 wheel horse this time around, which it should be able to provide that. So for probably around 330 with the flex fuel. And we'll see how much fun that is. That gets me where I want to be. Then that might be this project, and we'll move on to the next one. Yeah, so just got a little detailing done. I also touched up the throttle body and fuel rails, things like that. So just kind of going through and painting and kind of detailing some things, because Wisconsin, that salt corrodes everything. So it looks so bad. So we're just kind of painting this stuff. Look at that throttle body, just a little bit of paint. And look at these turned out really good. Just a little bit of paint. It's taking a little bit of extra effort, so when I put it back together, at least it looks decent. So the look hopefully more matches the performance instead of it looking horrible but performing good. Ugh, that's nasty. So it's nice to be able to touch it up a little bit, clean it up, kind of get rid of some of that old grime and stuff, and get it looking fresh again. Here we go, another update on the Supercharger. Pretty much we're all ready to go. We're going to put these towels down to ease the installation so that gaskets don't rub on anything. We're going to slide the driver's side in first. And then the only hard part on the passenger side is this wire harness. You have to pry that back. Pry that back. 17mm wrench works for that. This is the hardest part, but I think I've got it flexed now enough. All you do is pop that. Whoops. Got it flexed enough for you to pop that back, and then the Supercharger should just slide right in. I already did a test fit. It fit. Looked at a couple things. Had to reroute my PVC hose. It sits pretty low, so anything you have under here is going to have to be low enough to clear it under the Supercharger. But other than that, we're good to go. Air conditioner's off to the side. This hose gets in the way just a little bit. So basically this hose right here, this front cable, you can see I have it tie strapped. Kind of gets in the way. I don't know why. And then that back harness. Those are really the three things. Make sure you have your stuff routed. Here's your mass airflow or your map sensor. Put that in the back. I already have my mass airflow and throttle body sensors up here, out of the way. Laying the towels down, so as you put it in, you don't mess up the gaskets. Just take an extra precaution. I think they say to put the towel down. It's not really that heavy, but it's kind of heavy, so then to don't mess up the gaskets and give you a little bit of time to get things positioned. Hey guys, here we go, another update. We got her going, we got her in. Supercharger's in. Looks amazing, of course. These Edelbrocks look factory. Like, you can't even, if it didn't say Edelbrock on it, you wouldn't know that's an aftermarket part. Fit and function. The kit's really good. They pretty much give you everything. There's a couple little quirks. I'm going to double check the instructions, but one of the bolts, for some reason one of the intake bolts was 12 millimeter, the rest were 13 millimeter. It's a little weird. Don't know why. There's really not a clearance issue, but we'll look at the instructions. Maybe it's got a reason for that. It's supposed to be on one side or the other. I found out why they have you put the alternator on first and then install a supercharger, because it's almost impossible to get that alternator in there. It'll go in, but it is a pain. But without the alternator on there, the supercharger goes right in really easy. But what I would do is, if you take the alternator off, leave this loose so you can get the alternator back in there, bolt the alternator down, and then bolt the supercharger down. But we're pretty much in. I have to figure out what I'm doing for my ECU. I think they make someone sells a different mount, so it's not so gaudy as the factory one. Or I'll just use the factory one. I gotta think about that, what I'm gonna do. Bigger injectors are in. Everything's good. Just have to mount the intake. Again, I already test fit the air filter. I think that's laid out good. I had one casualty. I broke my dipstick. The supercharger's heavy. We leaned on it. It snapped off. It is an accident. But yeah, so it's all installed, ready to go. Basically what I'm doing is I'm replacing the idler pulleys. They were a little wobbly. See how this is? There's maybe a little wiggle, but not much. This is pretty firm. The other ones were pretty wiggly. So I'm just replacing those. And I'm putting a new belt tensioner in there. Those guys at RPM do a ton of videos, and I've proven over and over on a supercharged vehicle you need a new idler pulley, because that belt tension is important. That affects your boost a lot. If you have a supercharger and you're losing boost, it's because something in your belts is not right. Probably your tensioner is probably bad. You have to have a factory style tensioner. You can't use a fixed tensioner. Those lose boost because that belt flexes. So you have to have the right length belt, and you have to have the right tensioner. So you need a fresh tensioner when you're installing a supercharger. And the guys, I just bought it. The car's got 60,000 miles on it, and those idler pulleys were a little weak, so we're replacing those. Again, we did some touch up. I don't know if it looks nice, but it doesn't look so nasty. Like, at least the aluminum looks like aluminum for right now. It doesn't look quite so, I mean, Wisconsin is so hard on these cars. But looks good. It's installed. I'm just doing the last couple things. I was tweaking my tune. Found one last point of resistance in the tune. I fixed that. There's a couple limits in there. Why these don't have you like your, this was the mass airflow. Your mass airflow sensor sits up here, right, on the intake. You have to recalibrate the limit of that. It only will let you read to a certain limit, and the supercharger can exceed that limit. So I maxed it out. Even the Edelbrock tune doesn't. It's high, but it's not maxed out because it's for the 10-pound pulley, the small pulley, the large pulley, the low boost pulley. But I may run the medium pulley. I may go up one pulley. I will eventually, just what if I do it without the build or not. That'll be the key. Depends on how good she runs or how much wheel spin it has. If it's got too much wheel spin, we'll have to stick with this pulley. If we can get it to hook up, we'll probably try the bigger pulley. Hopefully we don't break nothing. But yeah, so there's a limit. So like there's all these little things in the ECU you just have to learn when you're. Part about doing a tune yourself is you have to learn all these stuff. You have to research and research and research and dig through that ECU and find all these things. So that we maxed out. So just a couple little tweaks like that. And I did build, because I have flex fuel on it. I never had the flex fuel cranking map. There's a map that you put in there that adds extra fuel when you start it. I decided to add that. At E40, it was starting to crank a little, like take a little long to start. Not bad, but it was still starting. I'm like, you know what? I'll just throw that in there. It's just one less thing to deal with. So it starts instantly, just like factory. So I did a little tweak like that. And that's it. Tweaked my timing tables a little bit so it can help dial it in faster. Basically gave myself like 3 different timing maps to test out when we get it fired up so we can tune it faster. And then that's it. That's it. Just waiting for those parts. Those parts come tomorrow. So another day. Waiting for parts. I don't know where I'm putting my catch can yet. Don't know if this catch can is going to be big enough. It's the small Mishimoto. Hopefully it is. After doing some research on the catch cans, you don't need a fancy one. That's all I'm going to say about that. But you do have to have a catch can on these cars. I think I've went over that before. But that's it. It's put together. I'm rambling on. We have to add some coolant. I just picked some of that up from the store. Top off my coolant. Maybe I might be getting the big radiator. I know I need it. It's just a matter of it's $800. Just want to do it now. I don't have to do it right this minute because again we're in Wisconsin. We're gonna have salt at least for 3-4 months. So I've got 2-3 months to worry about that. I might be putting a bash bar on the front. Hopefully I can find a used one. And then that's it. So tomorrow we're getting the pulleys. We're getting the idler pulleys. We're putting those on. We're putting fluid in. We're starting this thing up. That's it. Thanks. Bye. All right. Here we go. Another video update. ABS base map. Now I'm uploading my Supecharger map. All right, she's in, connected. I'm putting in the map. She's going through the steps. Purge some of my coolant. Right now coolant's full. She's in, connected. We're about ready to fire this beast up and see what we got. Whew. Spent mother